Welcome back to Healing with Experience. I have a co-host on my channel, first time, and I'm gonna let her introduce herself.
My name is Asia. I'm found on Instagram as Big Daddy Asia, and I'm also a freelance makeup artist. Asia Nicole, the makeup artist. Also, owner of The Solutions by Asia Nicole, which is a makeup brush cleanser. Entrepreneur and corporate girl. Thank you for
Well,
inviting me to your show, girl.
no problem. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 7. Um, and this topic will be about city girls. How being a city, coming from the city to the South really is. So what was it like moving to the South for you, coming from the city?
It was a culture shock for me in the beginning. The transition was smooth, but there were like little things that I didn't consider that played a big role, even down to like the food. Like the Mexican food in New York is nothing like the Mexican food out here. It's real authentic. Cajun food, you don't get real Cajun food up there. But then like I don't have access to delis, bodegas, bagels, pizza.
Pizza.
Okay. You know, you can relate to pizza.
Oh, I know, girl. I know. You know, I know. I would say the same thing. I would say it's definitely different for sure.
Yeah.
But it takes some adjusting for sure. I would say for me, moving from the South, from the North to the South was definitely an adjustment just because of, people. They're different everywhere we go, right?
The culture is different. I felt like I stand on business with my street cred, and I don't really know how it is. I didn't really understand. I won't say I didn't know. I didn't understand the difference in respect, being from the city versus from the South. It's completely different, but if you're open to like understanding it, then you can adjust. But the people were different. I mean, being able to even turn right on red is crazy.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, no, for real. Because where I'm from, Chicago, like they have so many red light tickets. Like if you run a yellow light, you getting a red light ticket,
right?
And you got to pay $100,
right?
So I would say that was a perk moving to the South. Like, not saying it's good to run a red light, but
you didn't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I don't have to.
And the lights are slower too.
Okay.
The yellow lights, they actually let you go through.
Yes.
No, my mother says this. She be like, it goes yellow red.
Yellow red is crazy. I would say just adjusting was a good thing, but I learned a lot on the way from just different people. I would say I learned what people being seasonal in your life meant moving to the South for sure.
Yes. Is there any main purpose or things that you expected when you came out here?
Well, when I moved to the South, I expected a change. Just with looking at life a different way, a different perspective of life, I would say.
Yeah.
And I believe that it definitely had a positive impact on my life by just getting up, moving to what I don't know, the unfamiliar. So I would say hand in hand, it was good, and it was some bad, but it was mainly good.
Yeah, me too. I think this is a great life decision that I made. It has its own struggles because all of my family is back in New York, but the quality of life is better. It's a little bit more at ease. Not only that, I think the best thing was I had the opportunity to be who I wanted to be. So I got to show up to others the way that I wanted to show up, and not by no prejudgment from my past. Because you don't know me. So you only know what I show you, and if I know I want to show up as this person in your life, then I have the opportunity to do so. And I feel like I planted a lot of good seeds to find my my tribe.
Okay.
You know, to show up for me the way I wanted. I need people to. So yeah, that was definitely a great pivotal moment for me. I got to show up when I moved out here.
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I loved how you told me, like, as far as just coming and finding what you needed, like as far as the support, the people that's in your life, and when you're strategic, or just like, you're like, you know, this is what you want. It shows.
Right.
It shows, and it's a good look.
Yeah.
It's a good look.
Yeah, it's definitely something beneficial. And I tell a lot of people back at home, you don't know better until you see or do better.
Yeah.
A lot of people are afraid to make that leap of faith. But my dad, before I left, he told me straight up, like, I raised you. This is either going to be the best move or the worst move. It's really up to you.
For real. And that's how I felt when I moved from Chicago all by myself. I just felt like, hey, if I made it in Chicago, I can make it anywhere.
But girl, you
and that's
moved
just
here
the mindset.
with your baby.
I did.
See, I didn't. I was single. I was by myself. I had my baby here.
Yeah.
So how was that with the little one?
Well, for my son, I was always a single mother. Just growing up in Chicago, I had very little support, and I told myself, I was like, by the time my son is 10, we moving.
Yeah.
We're gonna get different scenery. I'm gonna get him different scenery.
Yeah.
And this is what we're doing.
Yeah.
And when I came, it was a little tough because it was just me and him. But I feel like he was the perfect age for me to still do my thing.
Yeah.
And, you know, just grow. So it was a little hard, but I think that it was like a really good thing that I did because it showed my child just something different that he'll always remember.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Yeah. What is a city code? What's a city code?
City codes. Like I said, that's respect. Like, you know, there's just certain things you do and don't do. It's definitely like snake activity.
For sure.
I feel like when you're from the city, you could spot that. You could spot that ish a mile away. And I think also when it comes to friendships, it's different. Like, I don't know what it was like for girls growing up here, like, and I only say this because my friends are a little bit more privileged, so I can't say for like the hood girls from Houston. I don't know, but my friends are prissy. We all know that, okay? But I don't know if the bro code is the same like how it was back at home, where it was like we came together, we stick together, we leave together. Period. I don't care who's upset. If somebody is mad, we all have to leave.
We all gotta leave.
That's it.
And that's how I was taught. And I definitely think it's different because I've been in like probably a situation where it was just weird. And I think that person was from here for sure because it was like a time we went out and like some guys was like laughing at me like about something like a body part or something like that. And the girl was laughing with him. And I was like, that's so weird. Like, yeah, I'm just not used to that.
Expect more from like a homegirl, or just like as a woman in general to like check themselves or check them. Like, what is you doing? Or like, that's not cool. Or even just like, you know what? Let's go to the bar and walk around,
or
walk off.
Something I would expect. Like,
yeah, I've gotten into weird situations. My first year here, actually, I hooked up with this girl that I was cool with. I was doing her makeup or whatever, and she invited me out. And one of the guys that had the section, like, he was drunk, like, tore up, girl, and he could not drive. And I don't know if she was too drunk as well, but I don't think so because I feel like because I rode with her, she drove her car and they were gonna let this man drive off. I had to be like, no, I will drive him to the destination because I didn't want to. There's no way. Like, I feel like even in New York, people just have that like, no, what are you doing?
Yeah, it's like, is you cool?
Right?
Like, is you cool?
Cause what the hell?
Yeah. The hell? The helly? No, for real, like, that's how I feel. Like, I'm just like, okay, well, let me just take my time. Let me see. But what I learned coming here was it doesn't matter where you from. Like, people are going to be people. Like,
Right,
it
right.
doesn't matter if you was taught this one way and you know what it is, and then you come somewhere else and they talk a different way. Either way it go, it all equals up to the same thing as a person being a person. And so I think that from being from up north or the Midwest, like, we learn a lot early. Like, it's a lot of things that we got in line early. Like,
Yeah,
it's
and I feel like respect is the biggest thing. Like, I remember one time, um, an older lady, she called me little girl, and that blew my fucking mind. I wanted to punch her right in her head, cause I'm like, little girl, like, like, who? No, unless you are about to fight me or we are exchanging words, you don't call someone in their mid 20s a little girl.
Yeah,
You know what
sure.
I'm saying? And so I had to understand, like, they have their own dialect and their own way of talking. But I'm like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't do that from where I'm from. So you
Nah,
you
for
gonna have
sure.
to adjust.
No, for real, for real. And it definitely takes some adjusting. But like I said, like, when you know, you know. Just being from the city, I mean, it's just automatic. Like, it's so many things that you just automatically know. So I think that is definitely a perk being from that way. I mean,
Yeah.
Midwest, because it's a lot that we learn early.
Yeah, and we
for
learn
sure.
how to mind our business.
Okay, like, minding my business is like
My black business.
my black ass business.
Duran Bernard, I love you. Minding my business.
Minding my business, for sure. No, that's my, like, I stick by that. Like, minding my business, like, staying in my lane.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
yeah.
People will say, like, oh, you so cool. Like, it's not even I'm cool. I'm just minding my business.
No, for sure.
Like, I noticed that coming from a big city, because we mind our business, we really don't have a problem with saying what's on our mind. And it comes off a little direct and blunt. But I feel like people who understand and are cool with being straightforward, they know it's not being rude. Because there's people who are blunt and rude, but I feel like, if someone asks my opinion, the first thing I say is, you want me to tell you what you want to hear?
Yeah.
Or you want to hear the truth? Which one you want?
For real, for real.
Respectfully.
And that's how I feel. I got that a lot, like, especially coming from, like, a relationship where it was like, I met somebody here that I dated, and he was from the South, and it was just like, he always say, you tough, because, like, I was real direct with certain things, like, more so of not beating around the bush, just
Right.
more straightforward.
I think even how we just talk sounds more aggressive, but we're not aggressive.
We're not.
It's just how we talk.
It's our nature,
Yeah.
and it's like, if you know, you know,
Yeah, for
and even if you don't know, like, the intentions are always pure.
Facts.
Like,
But also, to touch base on that, I feel like that plays into our mindset as far as, like, getting this money. Like, I feel like we have, like, this hustle mentality.
Girl.
Not scamming.
no scamming.
Not scamming.
I'll hustle, baby.
I
I'll
mean,
hustle.
finding real ways to always have a bag.
No,
like,
for sure.
For real.
And just coming from Chicago, like, I was just always told, like, you have to depend on yourself. Like, you have to depend on yourself. You can't depend on anyone. I was always told, like, even if you did depend on a man for a little bit, like, you could never just solidly depend on a man. Like, you always have to have a backup plan.
But it's good to have your own, though.
It
because
is.
when something happens, baby, I'm good. You look up how to get out of somebody's way, my picture right there.
For sure.
Straight up.
For real. I know, for sure. Like, and I'm right behind you, though, because it's like,
Facts.
It's like, at a certain age, at a certain point, it's like, enough is enough.
Yeah, and you know what? When you know how to hustle and you know that, you can depend on yourself, you automatically it's quick to be like, don't even worry about it.
Don't
if
worry
I'm a
about
problem, let me remove the problem from you.
Let me remove it. Let be my guest. You can step. Like
that's right.
For real. Like for real.
Is you cool?
Is you cool? You so crazy.
I love that line.
Girl, when I first heard that, that's when I had moved back to Chicago for a little bit.
I love that.
And I was like,
G,
is you cool?
You gotta be saying.
And G?
Well, what's up, G?
What up, G? G, is you G? Stop
G,
playing. Is you cool, G? Nah, that was I always said G though. Like growing up, just like my friends and stuff. Yeah.
It's like
what up, G?
Son.
What you on, G? You cool, G?
Yeah.
Nah, but I love New York though. I love your accent. I can't wait to like finally visit New York. I've never been to New York, so
it's gonna be so fun.
I'm so excited to just see what New York brings. Like I think it's cool.
It is real cool, and you know, even though we're our own people, what I love about it is that it's really a mixing and a melting pot of different cultures in one, and it's fun to see because everyone has their own towns. You got Little Italy, you got Chinatown, you got where the Ox are, you got where the Jamaicans are, you got where the Americans are, you got Spanish Harlem.
Okay.
You got where but it's a nice blend, and you'll definitely enjoy it, just like I probably would enjoy in Chicago. I'm fiending to go out there.
Hey,
I want to try the pizza.
We gonna go and we gonna try the pizza. We gonna try everything. We gonna go when it's warm, because that's the best time, because you can see everything.
What's that sauce? Moss sauce?
The Mal sauce.
Mal
on the chicken. Ooh. The Harrow's chicken, Shark's chicken. They got all different type of little chicken joints. It be good. It do be good. We love the Mal sauce in Chicago.
How you say it?
Mild. Like mild, mild.
So if I say mild, but it's really mild.
Well, that's your accent.
I need a mild,
mild sauce. But we'll
mild
just
sauce with that, please.
Let me get a 6-piece wing, extra crispy with mild sauce.
That sounds good.
Yes. So I mean, I love the mentality that I do have, and I love the fact that even though it's like from a broken and like rough place, I can find peace.
Picture of you when you were a teenager. You were a teenager, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. So in the picture, I'm looking at you, and I instantly knew you had the Bugs Bunnies on your feet. I knew them Jordans a mile away.
Yes, girl.
And I was like, are those the And you were like, yeah. Yes. And I started cracking up because that was like our thing back then. Like, what?
The gear?
Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm still like that. Like, I'm not a sneakerhead like that. Like, I should be. But, like, growing up... Baby, I knew.
Couldn't tell me nothing.
I knew what was up.
When you know, you know.
That's it. Like, my ex-boyfriends are big into shoes, ice creams, and I think me and my cousin were the first girls to ever wear the Bacons.
The Bacons.
They like red and yellow and black.
They kind of got a fat tongue or something.
Girl, I have to pull it up for you, but
okay.
We wore them. And we had the matching shirts, and it was thing 1, thing 2.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to do our hair where I used to flat twist the front.
Okay.
And then have it sprouting out, and then the back would be down.
Yeah. Baby. I like that style. Well, I remember that style. I think I know what you're talking about. It would be like those little, like, twists kind of thing, and they'll be in a knot, and it
or
look
you
like
do
a
the
pineapple.
Crown. Yes,
girl, I used to do that too. Like I had every pair of Jordans that came out. Like when I was a real life sneakerhead when I was in school. But then like it was a time even we used to rock like K-Swiss. I was in like 4th or 5th grade. Girl, I used to put the little balls from the beauty supply store
on the back of your sock.
Girl, no, on the front of the K-Swiss. Like I used to. It was like a little like
the little softball.
It was like a cube ball, and I would used to wrap it around the tongue of my shoe, and it would just be cute, and it'd be like a K-Swiss.
Oh.
And it was like, when I got older, I was like, ugh, I would never wear a K-Swiss. Like, but it was like the gear, it was the time, it was just,
Yeah.
And then when I got to high school, it was just always Mikes. I loved, well, we call them Mikes in Chicago, or Jordans, but they used to just always really call them Mikes.
So what y'all call, what they say out here, they call them Air Forces. What y'all used to call them?
Ones.
Okay, we call them the white ones?
Well, we'll just say ones. Okay. I'm getting some ones or some crispy whites.
Okay, so we call them Uptown.
Uptown. Okay, period.
But
I love
get the white ups.
Period. Look, you going to get the white ones?
Okay.
The crispy, fresh crispy. Oh, she got some fresh crispy.
No. What kind of bubble coats y'all used to wear?
Girl, I love me a North Face bubble coat.
Girl, I love me some North Face.
Girl, I love me a North Face. I used to be
walking with, you know how the pockets right here in the chest? Be walking like this, fast in the snow.
Yes. I think it used to be called First Down too. Like First Down, when I was like in middle school, they would have like the bubble coats. But like when the bubble coats really got popping, it was like North Face. It was like rock them North Faces. Like I used to rock them. I used to buy my son North Faces.
Yup.
We used to be some North Face and rocking people.
They try to play me. So like 3 years ago, I bought some snow boots. Mm-hmm. And because I was going back home, and it was around wintertime.
Yeah.
So, you know, I already know what time it is. There's black ice, snow on the ground.
Oh, yeah.
I want my feet to be covered. I don't want them to get wet. So they're like bubble material boots. They look like a bubble coat, but on the boots.
Yeah, yeah.
But they North Face. That's the only reason why I got them, because they North Face. So I'm wearing them. Those boots are ugly. Why are you wearing those boots? And I said, you don't even know what you're talking about right now.
So it was here.
Out here, they were saying this.
They don't know no style.
With them joints. Oh, where you got that? We all puffed out.
But
from the shoe to the coat to the bag. What up?
What's up? Period. Nah, I would like. I know what shoes you talking about. I used to love them shoes too, but it was some other ones, like the real furry ones. They'll be like furry outside. I never had them, but I always wanted them. But they like real furry.
Boots.
Yeah.
Pull them up.
Yeah.
Yup.
I mean, I would say I see that more.
They had the moccasin ones like that too.
Yes.
The moccasin boots with the fur on the back in the day.
I love those. I absolutely, I just love those.
Yeah.
I love how like New Yorkers or Chicagoans or just people from like where we are dressed. Like I feel like it's a whole different type of swag.
Yo.
Like you know how to put stuff together. Like you could just go in the store and the outfit don't even have to be put together. You just put it together, and it's cute and it's fly.
It is, and I like how we know how to play with our colors. Like we're not about to wear one full color all the way down. Boy, I went to this bar and this guy had on a orange polo, and he had it tucked in his shirt and his jeans with a belt. Mm-hmm. And I was like, okay, you know, a little preppy.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm not tripping. Black man. So I'm looking at him. He walks away from the bar. I look down and I'm looking and I'm like, he got his socks match his orange polo shirt. And so I'm looking, and the reason why I know the socks match the polo shirt is because the pants wasn't pants, they were shorts. And I said, this is some country.
Wait, because I'm still thinking about the shirt tucked in.
Shirt tucked in with the belt, with the G-shorts.
But wait, you said the pants. When we was getting to the pants, the socks, what stood out to me was you knew how the socks looked because they wasn't covered because he had
the killer was that they were shorts the whole time. It was one of those where you say, well, you know, when they walk off and you see, you go,
Girl, that is crazy. I'm glad.
Crazy out here, bro.
I'm glad we know how to.
Yeah, we know how to put that ish on.
We put that ish on for sure.
We put that on.
For sure.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in closing, thank you guys for tuning in to Healing with Experience. But before we leave, what did you think about the movie Straw that just came out?
Girl, Straw hit me like I got hit with a BB gun. I felt like I got hit from my head to my shoulders to my stomach. I do not cry like that. I boo-hooed from the beginning to. It was to the point where I had to tell myself to just let it out. It was so bad. I had to go up to my son and ask my son for a hug and he's 8, because I was just destroyed. I couldn't. It hit so hard in so many places, and I think the reality of it for me was that could be me at any moment. And it's not even just the snapping part, it's what led to the day. And the day really all boiled from the beginning from her child being ill. And I felt like, whew, that could happen to anybody.
Anybody.
You know? So it was good. I think it needed to be done. And it gave people who don't have a voice. It was important. I'm glad. It was very dramatic for it to all happen in one day. But it was something, it gave a voice to a lot of people who go through things like this regularly that don't speak up and feel unseen.
I agree. I mean, myself, I watched that movie and I just like poured down crying.
Girl.
From
the beginning.
That movie definitely spoke to me to where I knew it could be any of us. Like, as a single mother, we don't get enough credit. Like, we carry this child for 9 months, and then the father could do whatever they want to do when they want to do it. And it's like you're left stuck with this child. And it's like, for her, in that situation, I mean, I could see why she flipped. Like, that was just so much on one person. So she played her part up in that movie. Like, they did that. They did that.
I enjoyed it. I'm glad that that manager got shot though.
Oh man, she did what she had to do. Cause at the same time, it was like she basically just stood up, got the robber, and how he called the police, bringing her name up, didn't give her check. I feel like she lost it when she didn't get that check. But then I hear like she lost it when she lost her daughter, but she just didn't know. Like, well, we didn't know at the time. It was touching.
I think I heard from someone mention that they were tired of Tyler Perry constantly rewriting this narrative in different ways of the struggling black woman, and you know, of course, there's some type of happy ending, but just talking about black women's trauma, and you know, that came from a black woman, and for me personally, a privileged black woman, I should say. But for me, I don't really care how many times you rewrite the story, because the trauma that we endure is really real.
Yes.
And it needs to be put out as many times as it needs to be put out until somebody gets it.
No, for sure.
Nobody gets it.
Nobody
and
gets it.
What is not coming from all of this is the idea of how to provide more resources. There's not enough resources. We talk about other things. We talk about mental health. Mental illness. We talk about health and illnesses and things like that. But there's resources for that. You know, you have support for that. But what support do we have as a black single mother, right? When we're on the verge, what number do we call? I mean, all we can do really is get down on our knees and hope that we can live another day. Thank you, friend, for letting me come on here with you on this platform. I've been watching you grow within the last couple of months, and I'm very proud. I'm happy to be a part of this journey, and I hope many, many more. Go check out her book. She got 2. But while we wrap this up, I just wanted to say thank you so much, and y'all better tune and stay subscribed for some more, because this is just the beginning of what y'all about to get from me, because I'm about to be talking some real hot-ish. Don't worry, it's coming.
Thank you so much. I'm so honored to have you on my podcast on episode 7.
Whoop, whoop. That's a lucky number.
I know. Look, I'm honored to be your friend. Thank you for being a supportive friend. Thank you for just being you through everything. Thank you so much, and I love you. And thank you guys so much for tuning in to my 7th episode, Healing with Experience, and we'll see you next time.
Peace out.
I love it.